Welcome back, everyone. This is the continuation of the last video. We're going to go ahead and get the gear install finished, and then we're going to install the ball joint delete in this video. We're going to pick up right where we left off, so enjoy. So this is how I like to press bearings on. Take a little bit of clean gear lube, just lubricate that. Take the new bearing, then you take your old bearing race, and it's a perfect fit. You don't want to use something that's going to press on the cage and distort it, because that'll destroy your bearing. If you have a Rubicon, don't forget to put the diaphragm back in. Same thing, a little bit of lubrication, bearing, old race, center it up in the press. Got the new gear here. We're going to go ahead and drop that on. Going to apply Loctite. Get that lined up. Ring gear bolt says here 55 foot-pounds. Alright, we're going to check our pinion preload. So we're a tad heavy. Rolling is about 40. We want about 25 to 35 is what the spec says. So we'll add another shim in there. Before we get too hung up on pinion preload, we're going to slip this back in, check the pattern. Looks like we have a pinion that is too close. It all has to come apart, and I gotta change the spacing on the pinion. So what I'm doing to set the pinion depth, Yukon sends assortment of shims that you can place behind this bearing. So I'm moving this bearing in or out to bring the pinion in or out. Fingers crossed, third time's the charm. And all I'm doing with my preload, I have that figured out. I just add the same amount or take away the same amount depending which way I'm going. These ones right here, that sit between the collar and the outer pinion bearing. We have a decent pattern now. We have 8 thou backlash. We're on final assembly. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of grease on that little spring right there. Helps keep it from popping off when you're putting the pinion seal in, or any kind of seal for that matter. It's just good practice. The grease will melt into the gear lube, so you don't have to worry about that. It is axle grease after all. Now I know for sure that that spring won't pop off. Got the new bearing, got the oil slinger, Got the seal. Got the seal slash bearing driver. There we go. Everything still moves free in there. Pinion going in for the last time. Got the new pinion nut and washer. You want to save those for the final assembly. I've been reusing the old pinion nut for every test fit. Don't forget about the little hose. Backlash didn't change, that's good. Pattern looks good. We are set.
Day 2.
Good morning. We're back in the shop working on the Jeep. We're going to tackle the ball joints. So we're going to be installing the American Iron off-road ball joint delete kit. I have my ball joint assemblies fresh out of the freezer. Nice and frosty. They press in just like ball joints. Bottom one from the bottom. For the top, we're going to try heating it first.
A few moments later.
So this is an induction heater. Actually, just for fun, I'll show you guys on the thermal. Camera's still loading. It'll tell us the temperature here soon. There you go, no flames. Already 100 Fahrenheit. Sorry, Celsius. Even hotter than Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's probably hot enough. Just for comparison, knuckle, ball joint. Sorry, ball joint delete. Ah, still a tight fit. Yes. Get back in there. Almost there. Injuries. Those are not falling out. I apologize. There we go. Alright, and just like that, we no longer have ball joints. We have super strong ball joint delete. Now, I'll bring you guys in to have a closer look at these things. So these are actually really cool. So that is going to be super strong. They're serviceable. So instead of a ball joint, we actually have a real ball joint in it now. So think of this as like a Heim joint, and it's serviceable. You can get service kits for them. It bolts together, just like so. Obviously when you final assemble, you put grease in it. Same goes for the top. Same idea. It's a bolt for the stud. Got an O-ring and a washer on the top. Drop it in. Bolt your knuckle on. Last set of ball joints you're ever gonna need. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to make another video showing how to fix this. Focus. Hello. There we go. The brake pad wore into the caliper bracket, which is also the knuckle. So I'm going to go ahead and fix these. I'm going to make another short video about that. I'm not going to include it in this one. And then we'll be able to get these back on, put the front end back together. In case some of you were interested, it's called a mini ductor. You got different coils. Obviously our coils are very well used. We use it quite a bit around here. It works great. Time to close it up. Alright, we're going to finish installing the ball joint delete kit. So in the instructions it says to apply anti-seize. So I'm going to use this because it's better than anti-seize. It's actual assembly lube. Coat the entire spear. So we're going to want to spin this around in here a few times. Get everything coated. We're going to do the same with the top. Just keep spinning it around, working the anti-seize or the assembly lube or whatever you decide to use. I just feel like the assembly lube is going to last a little bit longer. Alright, once you get those all lubricated, going to pop the O-rings back in. The lower has 2 O-rings stacked on top of each other. The upper has 1 O-ring. A large washer goes on top, and then the bolt drops through. On the bottom, we have the stud that comes up through the bottom, has a large washer and a large O-ring. Slide that up through. Make sure to get the O-ring pressed in. Got the 2 O-rings on the top. There's a smaller washer and then a thin lock nut. And the instruction says to put that one finger tight, and then we're going to install the knuckle. So here we have our knuckle. Start the nut on the bottom. Start the nut on the top. You'll have something that looks like that. Now everything's loose. The instructions say to hold the top with the Allen key and tighten this nut to 40 foot-pounds. On the bottom, hold the top, tighten the bottom nut to 40 foot-pounds. Once you have that tight, we're going to tighten this nut. Again, 40 foot-pounds or till it's level. On the other side, I've already done it. It stopped at 40 foot-pounds. It was perfectly level with the top. Then, once everything's put back together and you set it down on the ground, snug this nut and the lower nut to, what was it? The upper is 60 and the lower is 65, going 10 foot-pounds at a time, I believe, was how it is done. I haven't gotten to that step yet for either side because I still gotta obviously put this side together, put the wheel bearing in, all that stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and get that done. We got the torque wrench set to 40. Got the Allen key. .40 foot-pounds. Decided to change the socket for the bottom. Just gonna double check the top. Now we'll do the big nut on the top of the lower. Alright, and that is completely flush at the top. Got our 40-foot tabs. I just work it back and forth a few times. Okay, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our axle shaft. Get a quick wipe, make sure there's no dirt on it. Install the wheel bearing. Went ahead and got new wheel bearing bolts. Already had these planned ahead. Go ahead and zip those up with the ratchet. Slip the rotor on. Yes, I gave everything a quick coat of black paint. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. She's looking pretty rusty. Wheel nut and washer. Sorry, axle nut and washer. That's snugged up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and slap the brakes together, then we're going to take a look at the steering. Check out the caliper bracket. Can't even tell there was holes worn in it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and install the Curry steering. Pretty straightforward, it just bolts on. Grab the crossover. And you just tighten it down, install the cover keys, and that's that for that, really. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm just going to tidy some stuff up, throw the wheels back on this thing, back it out. It's late Sunday night. Yeah, I'm crazy. I do this stuff all the time. Mechanic through the week, work on my own stuff on the weekends. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. I'm hoping to bring you guys some good content with this, so really help out if you subscribe, like the video, share. Thanks for watching.